What if everything you thought you knew about Hollywood was a carefully crafted illusion? Behind the red carpets and billion-dollar blockbusters lies a hidden world of secret deals, underground power players, and whispered conspiracies that shape the industry, and maybe even the world. From elite cabals and occult rituals to intelligence ties and scandalous cover-ups, the truth is more twisted than any movie script. Who really decides which stars rise, which careers fall, and what stories get told? It's time to pull back the curtain and expose the dark forces pulling the strings behind the scenes. Chapter 1. Hollywood Exposed. Who really pulls the strings? Beneath the glittering lights of Hollywood, where stars are born and dreams are sold for millions, lies a darker, far more enigmatic world. It's a place where deals are sealed not with handshakes, but with whispers, where the stories told on the silver screen are often less shocking than the ones hidden behind it. Welcome to the underbelly of Tinseltown, a place where power isn't just about fame and fortune, but about control, manipulation, and secrets so deep they could rewrite history. Hollywood is often portrayed as a dream factory, churning out blockbusters and launching careers. But what if the dream is just a facade? What if the real story is one of puppet masters pulling strings from the shadows, ensuring that every movie, every star, and every scandal serve a purpose far greater than entertainment? The question isn't just who's in charge, it's who's really in charge. Are the studio moguls, with their billion-dollar deals and ironclad contracts, the ultimate power brokers? Or is there something more sinister at play, a hidden network of elites, secret societies, or even global corporations shaping the narrative for their own game? To understand Hollywood's dark side, we have to go back to its roots. In the early 20th century, the studio system was king. Men like Louis B. Mayer of MGM and Jack Warner of Warner Brothers ruled with an iron fist, controlling every aspect of their actors' lives, from their careers to their personal relationships. It was a time of backroom deals, lavish parties, and whispered secrets. But as the studio system crumbled in the 1950s, Hollywood didn't become less powerful. It just became less obvious. The old moguls were replaced by corporate conglomerates, their influence hidden behind layers of boardrooms and billion-dollar deals. And with this shift came a new kind of control, one that operated in the shadows, far from the public eye. Hollywood didn't change, it just evolved, says one industry insider. The power brokers today are smarter, quieter, and far more dangerous. They don't need to scream to get what they want. They just pull the strings and let the pieces fall into place. So, who's pulling those strings? Theories abound. Some point to secret societies, like the Illuminati or the Freemasons, claiming that their symbols and rituals have subtly infiltrated Hollywood's biggest films and events. Others believe it's a network of corporate overlords, using their vast wealth to manipulate the industry for profit and power. Then there are the whispers of something even darker. Some insiders swear there's a shadowy group, call them the Hollywood elite, who've been running the show for decades, says another source. They're not just interested in money. They're controlling the narrative, shaping the culture, and ensuring that certain stories never see the light of day. Let's take a closer look at one of Hollywood's quiet scandals. The downfall of the major studio executives in the 1980s, people like David Begelman and Frank Mancuso. On the surface, it seemed like a classic case of hubris. Men who flew too close to the sun and paid the price. But dig a little deeper and the story gets murkier. They say it wasn't just about money, says a former studio executive who worked with one of the men in question. There were meetings, private, secret meetings, with people you wouldn't expect. Bankers, politicians, even foreign investors. And then, out of nowhere, he's out. No explanation, no scandal, just gone. It was like he'd been erased. Is this a coincidence, or is it evidence of a hidden network? Theories suggest that the studio executives had stumbled onto something they shouldn't have. A secret deal, a hidden alliance, and paid the price. Hollywood's power structure isn't monolithic. It's a tapestry woven from countless threads. There's corporate control, with media conglomerates like Disney and Warner Brothers dominating the box office. There's financial control, with Wall Street investors funneling billions into projects that serve their interests. And then there's cultural control, with Hollywood shaping the stories we tell and the values we hold. But perhaps the most insidious form of control is the one we can't see. It's not just about who makes the movies, it's about who decides what movies get made, says a veteran producer. And that's where the real power lies. If you control the narrative, you control the world. This is just the tip of the iceberg. In the chapters to come, we'll dive deeper into Hollywood's dark underbelly, from the old boys clubs and their Illuminati-like rituals to corporate collusion and the dirty dollars behind the deals. We'll explore the rise and fall of figures like Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein, whose scandals may be just a small part of a much larger story. But for now, let's leave you with this thought. Hollywood isn't just a place, it's a machine. And every machine has an operator. The question is, who's at the controls? As one insider puts it, if you think Hollywood is just about movies, you're not paying attention. The real story is playing out behind the scenes, and it's bigger, darker, and more twisted than anything you'll see on the big screen. So, who's really pulling the strings? The answer may be more shocking than you think. Chapter 2. The Studio Scandal, Illuminati, and Old Boys Clubs. The air in 1920s Hollywood was thick with cigarette smoke and lies. Behind the glittering marquees of the Golden Age, a cabal of men in tailored suits plotted in shadows. They called themselves pioneers, visionaries, but whispers followed them. Whispers of something older, darker. Whispers of the Illuminati. The myth began with a name, Adam Weishaupt. In 1776, this renegade philosopher founded the Bavarian Illuminati, a secret society bent on toppling monarchies and controlling minds. Though disbanded by the 1780s, its legend bled into America's Gilded Age, infecting the ambitions of tycoons and tastemakers. By the time Hollywood's hills lit up with celluloid dreams, rumors swirled that Weishaupt's disciples had infiltrated the studios. A coincidence? Consider this. The Warner Brothers, founders of Warner Brothers Studio, were Freemasons, a fraternity once linked to Illuminati cells. Their studio logo, a shield emblazoned with a crest, fueled fevered theories of hidden eyes and pyramids. No proof, only patterns. But proof was a currency these men didn't need. The backrooms of the Chateau Marmont held secrets louder than any screen scream. Studio moguls Louis B. Mayer, Jack Warner, Adolf Zucker gathered under crystal chandeliers, bourbon in hand, to carve up the industry. Deals sealed with handshakes, not contracts. A nod, a wink, a cigar's ash flicked into a tray. Here, careers were born and buried. In 1934, MGM's Irving Thalberg allegedly hosted a midnight meeting at the Coconut Grove. Stars danced upstairs while downstairs, 7 studio heads voted to enforce the Hays Code, a moral purging of indecent content. But insiders swore the real agenda was control of narratives, of culture. A starlet who refused to sign a slave contract? Gone. A director who challenged the system? Blacklisted. The code was their weapon, wielded like a censer, smoke obscuring their grip. And the symbols followed. Mayer kept a framed eye of providence in his office. A Masonic compass adorned Paramount's early boardroom. At parties, moguls toasted with glasses etched in cryptic glyphs. Just Art Deco, they shrugged. Yet when reels of The Wizard of Oz revealed a hanged man in the background, later dismissed as a bird, the rumor mills screamed ritual. The bloodlines ran deep. By the 1950s, the studio system crumbled under antitrust lawsuits, but the power didn't die. It shape-shifted. The same surnames lingered. Warner, Disney, Redstone. In 1986, Sumner Redstone seized Viacom in a hostile takeover, later merging it with CBS. His daughter, Sherry, now commands Paramount Global. The Murdochs? Their empire birthed Fox, now a Disney-owned titan. Coincidence or covenant? Modern boardrooms still echo with old rights. Executives slip into private clubs like San Vicente Bungalows or the Polo Lounge, where NDAs are baked into the wallpaper. A producer's assistant, speaking anonymously, recounted a 2019 soiree. They passed around a golden goblet, drank something that smelled like iron, laughed about feeding the beast. Next day, a no-name actor landed a Marvel role. Then there are the codes. In 2017, hacked Sony emails revealed execs discussing projects with phrases like greenlight the obelisk and offer the rose. Fans decrypted obelisk as a reference to the Mummy reboot. A box office flop some swore was sacrificial. The rose? A nod to the Rosicrucians, an esoteric order linked to Illuminati lore. Even superhero flicks aren't safe. Marvel's Doctor Strange brimmed with occult sigils. The Ancient One's temple bore a striking resemblance to All-Seer's Lodge, a rumored Illuminati haunt in Pasadena. Kevin Feige called it homage. Conspiracy forums called it confession. The rituals evolved. No longer smoke-filled rooms, but Zoom calls lit by the glow of Apple logos. Yet the old boys remain. A 2022 study found that 80% of studio heads attended Ivy League schools. They vacation at the same Swiss chalets, marry each other's exes, fund the same packs. When Me Too erupted, predators fell, but the system stayed. A leaked memo from a major studio read, contained the wildfire, protect the kingdom. And the symbols? They're everywhere. The Netflix N mirrors a serpent's tongue. Amazon's arrow smirks like a crescent moon. Even the TikTok logo, a pulsating ghost, hungry for your soul. The screen flickers. You're watching, but who's watching you? In 2023, an anonymous TikToker posted a video, a close-up of the WB shield, zooming in until the pixels blurred into an eye. The caption read, "They never left." The account vanished hours later. You laugh. Just another conspiracy. But in the hills above Hollywood, a gate creaks open. A limo slithers into the night. Somewhere, a champagne cork pops, and the reel spins on. Chapter 3. Cash, Conspiracy, and Dirty Dollars, Corporate Collusion. Money doesn't just talk, it screams. Welcome to the shadow theater of modern capitalism, where billion-dollar deals are sealed with handshakes in dimly lit boardrooms, and a line between commerce and corruption blurs into oblivion. This is a world where cash isn't just king. It's a puppet master, pulling strings from Wall Street to Hollywood, from offshore tax havens to the halls of Congress. Buckle up. We're diving into the underbelly of corporate collusion, where secrets are bought, narratives are weaponized, and the truth is buried under mountains of dirty dollars. Imagine this. A pharmaceutical executive slips a briefcase stuffed with $500,000 to a whistleblower threatening to expose deadly side effects of a blockbuster drug. Or a tech giant's lawyers drafting airtight NDAs to muzzle employees who witnessed data manipulation. This isn't fiction. It's the dark playbook of corporate America. Take the case of Theranos. Before its spectacular collapse, Elizabeth Holmes allegedly deployed a small army of lawyers to threaten whistleblowers like Erica Chung, who dared to question the company's fraudulent blood testing tech. Secret settlements, gag orders, and veiled threats became tools to shield lies from sunlight. They didn't just want my silence, Chung later revealed. They wanted to erase the truth. Lights, camera, manipulation. Hollywood isn't just about superheroes and rom-coms. It's a battleground for ideological warfare. Rumor has it that Wall Street titans and corporate giants quietly bankroll films to shape public opinion, turning silver screens into propaganda machines. Consider Top Gun, Maverick. While audiences soared with fighter jets, few noticed the Pentagon's fingerprints on the script. The U.S. military lent aircraft carriers and fighter planes, but only after demanding edits to portray the Navy as heroic and flawless. It's part of a long tradition. From Transformers to Zero Dark 30, the military-industrial complex trades access for control. But the plot thickens. Whispers swirl that hedge funds and banks invest in films pushing economic agendas. Ever wonder why movies like The Big Short, which exposed Wall Street's 2008 recklessness, or Margin Call, a thriller about investment banks, get greenlit? Some insiders claim it's a clever form of reputation laundering, villainizing greed on screen to distract from real-world exploitation. Then there's Red Granite Pictures, the studio behind The Wolf of Wall Street. Unbeknownst to audiences, the film was funded by the 1MDB scandal, a $4.5 billion heist from Malaysian taxpayers. Joe Low, the fugitive financier, allegedly used stolen cash to party with Leonardo DiCaprio while producing a movie about financial corruption. The irony couldn't be bloodier. Your favorite film might be a Trojan horse, crafted not just to entertain, but to influence. Behind the red carpets and glowing reviews lies a labyrinth of financial sleight of hand. Hollywood's creative accounting isn't just about avoiding taxes. It's a haven for washing dirty money. Take the case of The Expendables 3. In 2014, Spanish authorities uncovered a $65 million money laundering ring tied to the film's financing. Drug cartels allegedly funneled cash through shell companies, disguising illicit profits as movie investments. The film flopped, but the criminals still cleaned their cash. Or consider Vancouver, dubbed the Hollywood of the North. Canadian investigators have traced billions in suspicious funds flowing through film studios, where murky angel investors park money in projects destined to bomb. As one forensic accountant quipped, a box office failure can still be a financial success if the money was dirty to begin with. And let's not forget offshore shell companies. The Panama Papers leak revealed how elites use entities in the Cayman Islands or Belize to anonymously fund films, hiding wealth and evading scrutiny. When the credits roll, the real story is buried in spreadsheets. Now, let's connect the dots. What if these scandals aren't isolated, but threads in a larger web? Enter the corporate cabal, a shadowy alliance of CEOs, bankers, and politicians orchestrating global affairs for profit. Conspiracy theorists point to events like the Bilderberg meeting, where elites like Jeff Bezos, CIA directors, and EU commissioners gather in secrecy. No press, no leaks, just 48 hours of closed-door deals. Critics argue these summits aren't about dialogue, but about aligning agendas, pushing austerity, deregulation, or wars that boost defense stocks. Then there's BlackRock, the $10 trillion asset manager. Its CEO, Larry Fink, has been dubbed the Secretary of the Treasury for his outsized influence on global markets. BlackRock's algorithms control vast swaths of Wall Street, and its tentacles stretch into media conglomerates, tech giants, and even climate policy. Coincidence, or coordination, but ce pièce de résistance, the 2008 financial crisis. While millions lost homes, Goldman Sachs executives bet against the housing market and won. Emails later revealed banks knowingly sold toxic assets to clients while privately calling them shitty deals. This wasn't just greed, it was systemic collusion. Whether it's a cabal or mere coincidence, the result is the same. The rich get richer, and the rest pay the price. How much of our world is truly free from corporate strings? From the movies we watch to the laws we obey, money's invisible hand guides it all. But here's the twist. Every conspiracy hinges on silence. For every hush money payout, there's a whistleblower ready to talk. For every rigged review, a journalist digging deeper. The labyrinth of dirty dollars may seem endless, but sunlight is the best disinfectant. The question isn't, is this happening in Hollywood? It's, what are we all going to do about it? Chapter 4, Agents, PR, and Power Plays, the untold world of talent manipulation. Hollywood, where fairy tales are manufactured, dreams are commodified, and the red carpet hides bloodstains from knives plunged into backs. Beneath the glittering veneer of premieres and paparazzi flashes lies a labyrinth of power brokers who decide who ascends to stardom and who vanishes into obscurity. This is a world where agents and PR moguls don't just shape careers, they weaponize them. Welcome to the shadow war of talent manipulation, where alliances are forged in backrooms, reputations are demolished over cocktails, and the line between art and espionage blurs. In Hollywood, you don't need a soul, you need a killer agent. The corridors of creative artists agency, Hollywood's most formidable talent fortress, hum with whispered deals and veiled threats. Here, agents aren't mere negotiators. They're mercenaries in $5,000 suits. Leaked memos and off-the-record confessions reveal a Machiavellian playbook. Agents bundle A-listers with untested newcomers to force studios into risky bets. One 2013 memo detailed how CAA strong-armed a studio into casting a fledgling actor in a blockbuster by threatening to pull their Oscar-winning lead. The rookie's career soared. The studio seethed in silence. Talent who defy their agents face career Siberia. A former child star, let's call her Emma, rejected a toxic rom-com role. Within weeks, her auditions dried up. Her agents emailed to a rival, "Let her rot. She'll crawl back. Loyalty is transactional." Super agent Ari Emanuel once allegedly shredded a client's contract mid-meeting to prove dominance. Another insider recounts a rising director ghosted by his agent after refusing to drop a controversial script. They erased him like a typo. This is no meritocracy, it's a chessboard, and pawns are sacrificed for checkmate. Give me 3 headlines, and I'll make you a monster or a messiah. Public relations firms are Hollywood's invisible army, armed not with rifles but rumors. Their mission? To sculpt perception or detonate it. Consider these tactics. When a megastar faced assault allegations, his PR team allegedly leaked a rival's affair to tabloids. The scandal shifted overnight. A pop icon's team was rumored to hire digital mercenaries to bury cancel culture hashtags. Meanwhile, a rival's TikTok comments flooded with accusations of lip syncing. Coincidence? Insiders say no. PR pros gift scoops to journalists, a star's vegan activism, perhaps to overshadow their client's DUI arrest. One publicist bragged, "We don't spin stories, we invent them." But the darkest art is the smear campaign. In 2018, an actress who accused a producer of harassment suddenly faced anonymous claims of on-set diva behavior. Her Oscar buzz dissolved. The source? A PR firm's crisis management team paid to protect the predator. Your agent knows your secrets before you do. The most chilling whispers aren't about money or fame. They're about surveillance. Rumor has it that certain agencies collaborate with intelligence operatives, trading favors for firewall breaches. A former NSA contractor turned Hollywood insider claims talent agencies hire ex-intelligence analysts to monitor clients. One actor's anti-war tweets allegedly triggered a dossier sent to studio heads, killing his franchise role. In 2021, a tech guru hinted at a major agency's use of Pegasus-like spyware to track dissenting clients. Texts, emails, even Alexa recordings, all fodder to crush rebellion. Post 9/11, studios partnered with the Pentagon to craft pro-military narratives. But sources allege agents leveraged these ties to flag clients critical of U.S. policy, branding them unpatriotic risks. One anonymous agent chillingly boasted, "We don't just book roles. We own narratives." Hollywood's real drama isn't on screen. It's in the shadows where agents and PR savants pull strings like marionettes. This isn't conspiracy. It's capitalism weaponized. For every starborn, a dozen are buried in unmarked graves of NDAs and dead-ended careers. Yet the tide may be turning. Whistleblowers leak secrets. Hashtags like Expose Hollywood trend. Audiences hungry for authenticity demand transparency. But in an industry built on illusion, the truth remains its most disruptive script. In Tinseltown, the greatest performance isn't acted, it's orchestrated. Next time you watch a red carpet interview, listen closely. The pauses, the forced smiles, the scripted humility, it's all part of the dance. And somewhere off camera, an agent is smiling. Chapter 5. Diddy Unleashed, from music mogul to modern-day crime boss. The bass throbbed like a heartbeat as strobe lights cut through the haze of cigar smoke and champagne spray. A-listers, athletes, and starry-eyed hopefuls packed the mansion, lured by the promise of rubbing shoulders with hip-hop royalty. At the center of it all stood Sean Diddy Combs, grinning like a king surveying his kingdom. But as the night wore on, whispers slithered through the crowd. Did you hear what happened to the last girl who crossed him? This is the duality of Diddy, the visionary who built a billion-dollar empire on beats and hustle, and the shadowy figure accused of ruling it with an iron fist. From chart-topping hits to courtroom showdowns, his story is a thriller soaked in champagne and blood. Diddy's ascent reads like a hip-hop Horatio Alger tale. If Alger wrote his scripts in Versace and spritzed them with Ciroc. Born in Harlem and raised in Mount Vernon, Combs clawed his way from intern to CEO of Uptown Records by age 22, mentored by industry godfather Andre Harrell. But it was his 1993 launch of Bad Boy Entertainment that rewrote the rules. With a Midas touch, he turned the notorious B.I.G. into a legend, crafted pop anthems for Mariah Carey, and turned Bad Boy into a cultural stamp of luxury and rebellion. Yet Diddy's genius lay in seeing beyond the music. He pioneered hip-hop's move into haute couture with Sean John, a brand that netted him a CFDA award, the Oscars of fashion. He turned Ciroc vodka from a dusty French liquor into a $2 billion cash cow, proving his knack for alchemizing grit into gold. By 2023, Forbes pegged his net worth at $1 billion, a testament to his mantra, don't chase money. Chase the dream, and the money will come. But beneath the glittering surface, darker currents swirled. The music industry has always thrived on vice, but Diddy's alleged exploits veer into cinematic infamy. Former associates and court documents paint a lurid picture of his legendary freak-off parties, exclusive, no-phone bacchanals where, per insiders, rules didn't exist. One anonymous source described them to Rolling Stone as a mix of Eyes Wide Shut and Wolf of Wall Street, with Diddy as the ringmaster. The most explosive claims, however, come from lawsuits. In 2023, R&B singer Cassie, his ex-girlfriend and protege, filed a bombshell suit accusing Diddy of rape, physical abuse, and sex trafficking. She alleged he forced her into liaisons with male escorts and threatened her career if she resisted. The case settled within 24 hours, but it cracked open a floodgate. Multiple anonymous accusers soon came forward, alleging Diddy lured young artists and models into his orbit with promises of fame, only to trap them in a web of coercion. Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, in a $30 million lawsuit, claimed Diddy drugged him, seized his passport, and forced him to solicit sex workers. He's a predator, Jones told The Guardian. He uses his power to break people. Diddy's camp has fiercely denied all allegations, calling them money grabs and character assassination. Yet the whispers persist. Is Bad Boy's legacy built on brilliance or brutality? Diddy's legal rap sheet rivals his discography. In 1999, he and then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez made headlines when a shooting erupted at Club New York after Diddy allegedly waved a gun during a dispute. Charged with weapons possession and bribery, he walked free after a trial that one juror dubbed a masterclass in witness intimidation. More recently, the Cassie settlement sparked outrage, with critics arguing hush money silenced the truth. But Diddy's legal team has proven ruthlessly effective, leveraging non-disclosure agreements and procedural loopholes. As attorney Lisa Bloom noted, powerful men play a different game. They don't get convicted, they get gossip. Yet the lawsuits keep coming. In 2024, a former Bad Boy intern sued for sexual harassment, claiming Diddy fostered a culture of fear where women were passed around like party favors. Another producer alleged Diddy stole credits on a Grammy-winning track, snarling, "You'll never work again if you fight me." Through it all, Diddy remains defiant. "They come for kings," he posted on Instagram after the Cassie suit. But kings don't bow. Here's where the plot thickens into Pulp Fiction territory. Underground blogs and former associates speculate that Diddy's empire isn't just funded by Ciroc, but by clandestine alliances. Rumors swirl of private jets ferrying him to meetings with intelligence operatives or shadowy figures scrubbing his digital trails. He's got friends in places that'd make your head spin, claimed a self-described industry fixer in a since-deleted YouTube rant. Ever wonder how he dodged prison? It ain't just lawyers. Some even link him to Jeffrey Epstein, noting Diddy's 2015 trip to Epstein's private island. Others point to his ties with DC elites, including Obama, whom he campaigned for in 2012. It's all about leverage, argued podcaster Joe Rogan. If you know secrets, you get protection. There are also rumors of Diddy having an extensive collection of videotapes of powerful people in highly compromising situations. Some even allege that there was a child trafficking ring at the center of Diddy's parties. Defense attorney Anthony Rico, a member of his defense team, filed notice recently in Manhattan federal court stating he no longer wants to represent Combs, writing, "Under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel." What exactly did he uncover that he decided to not represent the hip-hop mogul in the sex trafficking case? No concrete evidence substantiates the videotape claims, as of yet, but in the court of public opinion, smoke often signals fire. The Daily Mail once dubbed him hip-hop's Don Corleone, and the comparison sticks. Like a mob boss, Diddy commands loyalty through a mix of charisma and menace. Former bodyguards describe his inner circle as a family in the Sopranos sense, where dissenters face exile or worse. He doesn't need a gun, claimed an ex-bad boy artist. He'll ruin you with a phone call. Yet for every horror story, there's a tale of Diddy's largesse. Surprise college tuition payments, mentorship to rising stars like Megan Thee Stallion. It's this duality that fascinates, the tycoon who's part saint, part sinner. As lawsuits multiply and federal probes rumble, Diddy's crown wobbles. Yet he's pivoting, as always, launching tech startups, teasing a comeback tour, and battling to reclaim his narrative. But in an era of Me Too and cancel culture, can the bad boy survive? Or will the man who once declared, "It's all about the Benjamins," finally pay the ultimate price? The answer lies in the shadows, where power, truth, and myth collide. Chapter 6. Epstein's Empire, the shadowy billionaire behind the elite. A crescent moon hung over Little St. James, the Caribbean island where palm trees swayed to the rhythm of hushed screams. In a marble villa, under flickering torchlight, a teenage girl in a maid's uniform trembled as she served champagne to a room of laughing men. Among them, a tech titan, a world leader, and a Hollywood icon. At the head of the table sat Jeffrey Epstein, his Cheshire cat grin slicing through the humid air. "Relax, sweetheart," he purred, sliding a diamond bracelet toward her. "Everyone here is family." This is the enigma of Jeffrey Epstein, a man who weaponized wealth, charm, and secrets to build a labyrinthine empire that ensnared the world's most powerful. From Wall Street to the White House, his shadow stretched far, fueled by whispers of blackmail, espionage, and a client list that reads like a who's who of global corruption. But how did a college dropout become the puppet master of the elite? And what really happened in the shadows of his pedophile island? Epstein's origin story is a riddle wrapped in offshore accounts and laundered through shell companies. Born in 1953 to a middle-class Brooklyn family, he dropped out of Cooper Union and briefly taught calculus before slipping into the golden veins of Wall Street. By the 1980s, he'd landed at Bear Stearns, where his knack for numbers and manipulating billionaires caught the eye of CEO Alan Greenberg. But Epstein's real fortune began when he vanished into the financial underworld. Officially, he claimed to manage money for ultra-high net worth individuals, charging mysteriously steep fees. Unofficially, rumors swirled. Insider trading? Blackmail? A front for intelligence ops? His $77 million Manhattan mansion, private jets, and fleet of Rolls-Royces suggested wealth far beyond his known clientele. He was a ghost, a former associate told Vanity Fair. There were no audits, no paper trail. The money just appeared. Epstein's true genius, however, wasn't finance. It was infiltration. He cultivated an aura of omniscience, hosting salons where Nobel laureates mingled with supermodels, all while secretly recording every conversation. "He made you feel special," said one victim, "until you realized you were prey." Epstein's Black Book reads like a dystopian Forbes list. Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Richard Branson, and a rotating cast of A-list actors. But his Hollywood ties cut deepest. In 2002, Epstein reportedly attended a private screening at Harvey Weinstein's Manhattan loft, flanked by underage Eastern European girls. He'd joke about casting Couch 2.0, claimed a former Miramax intern. Everyone laughed, until Me Too hit. Even more chilling are the whispers of Epstein's talent pipeline. Aspiring starlets were allegedly lured with promises of auditions, only to be trafficked to his clients. He'd say, "Steven Spielberg owes me a favor," or "I'm mentoring Lena Dunham," testified one survivor in the 2020 Ghislaine Maxwell trial. We believed him because everyone knew him. But Epstein's reach extended beyond Tinseltown. He vacationed with Bill Gates, dined with English royalty, and even advised the Clinton Global Initiative. He wasn't just connected, said prosecutor Jeffrey Berman. He was the plug. Epstein's island wasn't just a playground, it was a vault. Former staff allege hidden cameras in every bedroom, capturing politicians mid-compromise and CEOs snorting lines off minors' bodies. Those tapes were his insurance, claimed a security guard in the Netflix documentary Filthy Rich. One call, and he'd own you. The most explosive theory? Epstein compiled dossiers on elites to trade with foreign governments. In 2019, a French model told Le Parisien that Epstein pressured her to seduce a Saudi prince. He wanted dirt on the royal family, she said, for friends in Israel. That claim dovetails with the darkest rumor of all. Epstein didn't act alone. Conspiracy theorists have long speculated that Epstein was a spook. His first arrest in 2006, a sweetheart deal that spared him federal charges, only fueled suspicions. Why did Alexander Acosta, then U.S. attorney, grant him 13 months in a private jail wing? "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence," Acosta later admitted cryptically. Former Mossad agent Ari Ben-Menash swore under oath that Epstein and accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of disgraced media mogul Robert Maxwell, were assets tasked with entrapping powerful Americans. The goal was compromat, Ben-Menash told The Guardian. Control. Even Epstein's death reeks of spy thriller. Found hanged in his Manhattan jail cell in 2019, his autopsy showed broken neck bones consistent with strangulation. Yet officials ruled it suicide. Guards admitted falsifying logs. Cameras malfunctioned. This wasn't negligence, declared forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden. This was a hit. Every major industry scandal of the past decade seems to loop back to Epstein. When Kevin Spacey's accusers came forward, one alleged he'd met Spacey at Epstein's Zorro Ranch. Corey Feldman, a vocal survivor of pedophile rings, claims Epstein's associates tried to silence him with bribes. Even Johnny Depp's legal team subpoenaed Epstein's flight logs during his 2020 trial, seeking links to Amber Heard. Epstein didn't just know secrets, said attorney Lisa Bloom. He was the secret. Epstein is gone, but his network lives on. Ghislaine Maxwell's 2021 conviction barely scratched the surface. Her client list remains sealed. Meanwhile, Epstein's fortune, once estimated at $600 million, has vanished into a Bermuda Triangle of offshore trusts. In 2023, leaked documents revealed Epstein's shell companies funneled millions to a private lab researching life extension. Was he trying to cheat death? Mused a former employee. Or was someone else bankrolling immortality? As lawsuits grind on and whistleblowers emerge, one question lingers. How many of today's Hollywood elites are still dancing on Epstein's strings? The island is silent now. But the shadows? They're still talking. Chapter 7. Exploitation Epidemic. The untold abuse of Hollywood's most vulnerable. The neon glow of Hollywood's marquees has long masked a sinister underbelly, a labyrinth of secrets where dreams are bartered, souls are shattered, and power is weaponized. Behind the red carpets and flashing cameras lies a world where the mantra, "You'll do anything to make it," isn't a choice, it's a survival tactic. This is the story Hollywood doesn't want you to see. An epidemic of exploitation, where abuse isn't an exception, it's the rule. The term casting couch has slithered through Hollywood's history like a venomous snake, its bite leaving scars on generations of starry-eyed hopefuls. From the golden age of cinema to the streaming era, whispers of producers, directors, and agents demanding sexual favors in exchange for roles have persisted. But these aren't just rumors, they're harrowing realities. Take the story of Lila, a 19-year-old actress who auditioned for a buzzy indie film in 2018. The director told me the role required emotional intimacy with him first. She recounts, her voice trembling. When I refused, he said, "You'll never work in this town again." Lila's story is tragically mundane. A 2021 SAG-AFTRA study revealed that 64% of female actors experienced sexual harassment on the job, with many admitting they stayed silent out of fear of blacklisting. Then there's Harvey Weinstein, the face of Hollywood's predatory machinery. Over 90 women accused the mogul of assault, sparking the Me Too movement. Yet Weinstein was no lone wolf. He was a symptom of a system that normalized abuse. As one anonymous insider sneered to the Hollywood Reporter, Harvey didn't invent the game. He just played it better than anyone. The truth isn't in the headlines. It's in the hushed confessions of those who've survived Hollywood's grind. Jake, a former child actor. At 14, my manager told me, "If you want to be the next Disney star, you need to prove you're committed." Next thing I knew, I was in a hotel room with a producer twice my age. I didn't work for years after I said no. They broke me. An anonymous A-list actress. After my first big role, my agent gifted me to a studio head at a party. I was told, this is how gratitude works here. If I'd spoken up, my career would have died that night. Even tabloids have tiptoed around the truth. A 2017 TMZ leak exposed a top director's personal audition tapes, private videos of aspiring actresses performing nude scene work in his home. The story vanished within hours. Hollywood runs on hierarchies, and at the bottom rungs, assistants, interns, background dancers, the exploitation is industrial. Take Mia, a 22-year-old production assistant. I worked 18-hour days, fetching lattes and taking abuse. When the lead actor cornered me in his trailer, my boss said, "Don't rock the boat. You're replaceable." For every star, there are hundreds of invisible workers. Costume designers pressured into flattering fittings, dancers coerced into after-parties, writers forced to ghostwrite for abusive showrunners. Unions often turn a blind eye. You complain, and suddenly your contract's under review, says a ITSC member. They own you. The legal loopholes are staggering. Freelancers and gig workers, nearly 40% of Hollywood's workforce, lack protections against harassment. As lawyer Lisa Bloom notes, in Hollywood, power isn't just about fame. It's about who can destroy you faster. Could Hollywood's exploitation machine be part of something darker? Whispers of shadowy alliances between studios, politicians, even spies have long swirled. In 2021, a viral Twitter thread alleged that a major studio head had ties to intelligence agencies, using his influence to bury scandals. He's not just protecting himself, claimed an anonymous account. He's protecting systems. Then there's Jeffrey Epstein's infamous Black Book, which listed Hollywood heavyweights alongside politicians and billionaires. Was Epstein's Island just an extension of Hollywood's backrooms? The same people who fly on private jets to auditions are the ones funding campaigns and silencing media, says a former tabloid editor. Even the sudden deaths of whistleblowers raise eyebrows. In 2019, a journalist investigating a studio's sex trafficking links died in a car crash. Hours after tweeting, "I've got the story that'll change everything." The case was closed as an accident. Is Hollywood's exploitation epidemic just the tip of a much larger iceberg? One that's been orchestrated by those who thrive in the shadows? Consider this. Hollywood's abuse mirrors patterns in politics, corporate boards, and religious institutions. It's a microcosm of a world where power corrupts absolutely. The same elite who fund Oscar campaigns also bankroll offshore accounts, shell companies, and hush money payouts. And what are the audiences? We devour scandals as entertainment, clicking breathlessly on headlines about starlets gone wild, rarely asking who truly benefits. As director Quentin Tarantino once admitted, we knew about Harvey. Everyone did. We just didn't care. Hollywood's exploitation epidemic isn't a plot twist, it's the foundational script. For every Weinstein jailed, a dozen predators still roam free, shielded by NDAs, bribes, and our collective complacency. But the tide may be turning. Gen Z filmmakers are bypassing traditional studios, using TikTok and indie platforms to tell unfiltered stories. Whistleblowers are weaponizing social media, leaking documents to Substack and Telegram. Yet the question remains, will we keep buying tickets to the fantasy or dare to dismantle the nightmare behind it? The credits haven't rolled on this story. But one thing's clear. In Hollywood, the most chilling screams are the ones we never hear. Chapter 8. Meme Wars and Digital Realities. When the digital age blurs truth and conspiracy. In the digital age, a meme isn't just a joke, it's a bullet. And Hollywood is the battlefield. Picture this. A grainy screenshot from a 90s sitcom surfaces online. A character's offhand remark, "Trust the plan," flashes on screen. Within hours, the image is splashed across forums, retweeted by bots, and analyzed by TikTok sleuths. By midnight, it's trending. By dawn, it's proof of a shadowy Hollywood cabal. Welcome to the meme wars, where pixels wield power and fiction rewrites reality. Memes are the folklore of the digital era, bite-sized, explosive, and impossible to kill. Take the infamous Tom Hanks is a clone meme. What began as a joke about the actor's ageless charm morphed into a full-blown conspiracy, complete with evidence from movie cameos and talk show slips. Theorists claimed his Oscars were rewards for loyalty to the elites. When millions share, comment, and like the idea, it gains a life of its own. Why does this matter? Because memes don't just reflect culture, they shape it. A single viral post can reframe a celebrity as a villain, a movie as propaganda, or a hashtag as a call to arms. As one anonymous studio insider quipped, a meme can wreck a career faster than a scandal. And sometimes it's the same thing. Hollywood's silver screen has long been accused of hiding messages in the shadows. From Kubrick's The Shining to Disney's The Lion King, conspiracy theorists mine films for clues, a pyramid in a logo, an eye on a poster, the number 33 flashing in a trailer. Take Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick's eerie thriller about secret societies. After the director's sudden death, fans claimed he'd been silenced for exposing elite rituals. The film's masked orgy scene? A documentary, some whispered. When pop stars like Beyoncé embed all-seeing eyes in music videos or pose with Illuminati imagery, theorists pounce. They're bragging, declares a YouTube deep dive with 10 million views. It's a game to them, but is it intentional? Skeptics argue humans are pattern-seeking creatures. We see faces in clouds and symbols in static. Yet the persistence of these motifs is undeniable. When you're told to add eerie vibes to a trailer, you pull from the collective unconscious, admits a veteran film editor. Symbols like pyramids, they're shorthand for power. But that doesn't mean we're in a cult. Or does it? Theories about Hollywood's elite club are older than the Oscars. But the digital age has rebranded them. Today's Illuminati isn't lurking in Bavarian castles. It's hosting after-parties in Malibu, trading favors in DMs, and flaunting proof in plain sight. Jay-Z's Rockefeller logo? A pyramid. Rihanna's music videos? Filled with Masonic imagery. Even the Grammys get accused of ritualistic pageantry. Why else would artists kneel on stage or don black hoods? It's not art, insists a Reddit thread. It's initiation. And then there's the darkest theory, the celebrity sacrifice. When stars like Kanye West spiral or Britney Spears battles conservatorship, theorists see puppet masters pulling strings. They're punished for leaving the cult, one tweet alleges. But what if the truth is boring? Hollywood loves drama, shrugs a PR strategist. Mystery sells, symbols sell. No one needs a secret society. The real Illuminati is capitalism. Behind every trending conspiracy, there's a digital machine. Social media algorithms reward engagement, and nothing hooks clicks like outrage or mystery. Enter bot armies, anonymous accounts that amplify hashtags, swamp comments, and create movements. When hashtag Save the Children trended in 2020, it seemed noble until QAnon hijacked it, claiming Hollywood elites ran child trafficking rings. Since then, viral threads exposed A-list actors, spliced with clips from movies like Sound of Freedom. Fact-checkers debunked the claims, but the algorithm didn't care. Lies travel faster, sighs a meta-engineer. They're designed to. This doesn't mean that there is no truth to the conspiracies. but so far no proof of any kind has been presented. Even timing is suspect. When a star's scandal explodes alongside a political crisis, theorists cry distraction. Someone's engineering this, claims a Twitter sleuth. Are they? Or is it just the chaos of the web? Movies are empathy machines, said Steven Spielberg. But what if they're also propaganda? Conspiracy forums buzz with claims that Marvel films promote globalist agendas, or Black Panther was government-funded. Even The Matrix gets recast as predictive programming. They're preparing us for simulation theory. The Pentagon does collaborate with filmmakers. Want to use a fighter jet in Top Gun? The military might lend one. If the script paints them heroically, its soft power admits a defense official. But that's not a secret, it's branding. Still, when films like Don't Look Up, a climate allegory, or Get Out, a racial horror, dominate discourse, critics cry brainwashing. But is it propaganda, or just art holding a mirror to society? In 2016, a meme birthed Pizzagate, a theory about a pedophile ring in AD. See, Pizzeria. It ended with a gunman firing shots inside the restaurant. In 2024, a TikTok trend claims a Disney star is a clone, triggering death threats. This is the dark side of digital myth-making. Fiction becomes fact, pixels become pistols. We're in an infodemic, warns a cybersecurity expert. And the cure isn't just truth, it's digital literacy. Not all theories are conspiracies. The CIA did test mind control in Project MKUltra. Epstein's Island was a real horror. But for every legit scandal, there are 100 fake ones. The challenge? Discerning signal from noise, says a journalist. So, could Hollywood's conspiracy theories hold truth? Is Lady Gaga a CIA asset? Did Barbie hide feminist propaganda? Or is it all just entertainment? In the digital age, we are all detectives, and the only way to truth is through independent research. In the end, the only conspiracy that matters is the one we choose to believe. Chapter 9. Political Puppeteers. Hollywood's secret ties to government and global power. Lights. Camera. Coercion. Imagine this. A dimly lit boardroom in Los Angeles. The air thick with cigar smoke and ambition. A studio mogul leans across a polished mahogany table, locking eyes with a shadowy figure in a tailored suit. The script changes, the suit says, sliding a folder stamped classified toward him. Or the Pentagon pulls your access to those fighter jets. The mogul hesitates, then nods. The deal is done. Cut to theaters 6 months later, and audiences cheer as a heroically sanitized war epic dominates the box office. A blockbuster crafted not just to entertain, but to persuade. Welcome to Hollywood's back lot of power, where red carpets unravel into corridors of political influence, and popcorn fantasies double as propaganda. This is the story of how Tinseltown's glitter masks a far darker game. The collusion between entertainment titans, governments, and global intelligence agencies to shape what you see, think, and believe. Hollywood doesn't just make stars, it buys them. Political candidates, that is. Studio executives and A-list celebrities have long operated as modern-day Medicis, funneling millions into campaigns to secure clout in Washington. Take Jeffrey Katzenberg, DreamWorks co-founder and Democratic megadonor, who's poured over $50 million into races since the 1990s. Or Sylvester Stallone, who flipped from Trump rallies to Biden fundraisers. Proving loyalty in Hollywood is as flexible as a superhero franchise reboot. But the real power lies in the expectations behind the donations. When Steven Spielberg hosted a $10,000 A-plate dinner for Barack Obama, he wasn't just buying a photo op. He was investing in influence over copyright laws, streaming regulations, and tax breaks for film productions. It's a transaction, admits a former studio lobbyist. Politicians need cash and star power. We need policies that keep our profits soaring. Everyone leaves happy. If donations are the carrot, lobbying is the stick, and Hollywood wields both with precision. Behind closed doors, studio chiefs schmooze with senators, while A-listers jet to D.C. for cultural exchanges that suspiciously align with policy pushes. Take Jack Valenti, former MPAA president and ultimate insider. In the 1980s, Valenti transformed Hollywood's lobbying machine into a shadow embassy, brokering deals that allowed studios to dominate global markets. His piece de resistance? Persuading Congress to label film piracy a national security threat, a move that tied Hollywood's profits to America's geopolitical interests. Then there are the unofficial meetings. In 2017, a leaked memo detailed a secret summit between Netflix executives and State Department officials. Agenda item? Using streaming platforms to counter foreign disinformation by promoting U.S.-friendly content abroad. Was it a coincidence, then, that House of Cards suddenly featured plot lines echoing State Department talking points? Its soft power with a Netflix budget, quips a former diplomat. When a show drops in 190 countries overnight, that's not just entertainment. It's a diplomatic strike. Here's where the plot thickens into conspiracy. Whispers have long swirled that intelligence agencies embed operatives in Hollywood to steer narratives. Declassified documents confirm the CIA's Entertainment Liaison Office, active since 1996, has advised on over 2,000 films and TV shows. Their pitch? We'll grant you access to classified coolness if you let us tweak the script. Argo, the Oscar-winning thriller about a CIA rescue mission, was shaped by the agency itself. Former operatives vetted the script, scrubbing scenes of torture and amplifying the heroics. They turned a messy truth into a fairy tale, says a retired agent. Similarly, Zero Dark 30 ignited controversy when lawmakers accused the CIA of leaking classified intel to glorify its role in killing terrorists. But what about foreign spies? Rumors suggest Israel's Mossad planted consultants in Hollywood to burnish its image. Ever notice how Israeli agents in films are portrayed as hyper-competent heroes, like in the movie Munich, while Arab characters twirl metaphorical mustaches? It's not subtle, says an ex-studio writer. But when national security is invoked, questions stop. What if Top Gun, Maverick wasn't just a love letter to fighter pilots, but a recruitment ad? The Pentagon has long traded military hardware for script control, offering tanks, jets, and carriers to films that paint the U.S. Armed Forces as noble. Refuse their terms, and your production gets grounded. Take Transformers. The Pentagon supplied drones and bases on one condition: the military always saves the day. Michael Bay obliged, and the films raked in billions. Even Independence Day, a film about alien annihilation, required Defense Department approval, hence the president's rousing speech, lifted straight from a Pentagon press release. But the funding goes deeper. An investigation found that between 2005 to 2020, the U.S. government quietly financed over 50 films through grants and cultural outreach programs. Many were documentaries touting regime change in Venezuela or downplaying drone strikes. Hollywood's puppeteers aren't just American. Foreign governments and oligarchs have also seized the director's chair. When China's Dalian Wanda Group bought AMC theaters in 2012, scripts suddenly started kowtowing to Beijing. Red Dawn, a film originally featuring Chinese villains, had them digitally altered to North Koreans post-purchase. Meanwhile, the UAE funded Syriana, only to demand edits that scrubbed references to its human rights abuses. Even The Interview, the Seth Rogen comedy about assassinating Kim Jong-un, sparked a real-life international crisis and an alleged North Korean hacking of Sony Pictures. Money has no nationality, says a studio accountant, but it sure has agendas. As the house lights rise, one question lingers. How much of what we watch is art? And how much is artifice? From campaign cash to CIA scripts, Hollywood's secrets reveal a truth more gripping than any thriller. The stories we're sold are often weapons in a shadow war for control. So next time you see a superhero vow, "I'm here to protect freedom," or a spy thriller glorifying democracy, ask yourself, who really wrote this line? The answer might make you question everything about movies. Chapter 10: Rituals and Secret Ceremonies, unveiling Hollywood's occult underworld. Beneath the glittering surface of Hollywood, a world of flashing cameras, golden statues, and star-studded premieres, lies a shadowy realm few dare to acknowledge. Here, The red carpets fade to black, and the spotlight dims to reveal flickering candlelight, cryptic symbols, and whispered incantations. This is the Hollywood the public never sees, a labyrinth of secret ceremonies, occult rituals, and elite gatherings where power, fame, and destiny are allegedly forged in fire. Welcome to the occult underworld of Tinseltown. Imagine a moonlit Hollywood Hills mansion, its windows shuttered, its gates locked. Inside, robed figures circle an altar adorned with inverted crosses, goat skulls, and flickering black candles. The air hums with dissonant chants in forgotten tongues. This is no movie set, if rumors are to be believed. It's a scene straight from Hollywood's most clandestine rites. Whispers have long swirled that the industry's elite partake in forbidden rituals to secure their status. Former child stars, jaded producers, and anonymous insiders have hinted at ceremonies where blood oaths are sworn, ancient deities invoked, and soul contracts signed in metaphorical, or sometimes even literal blood. One notorious anecdote describes an A-list actress blindfolded and led into a candlelit chamber, where she allegedly pledged allegiance to a shadowy cabal in exchange for a career-defining role. Another tale tells of a director who disappeared for 3 days before his blockbuster film's greenlight, only to return with a cryptic smile and a script channeled from the other side. But why? Theorists claim these rituals are a dark currency, a way to harness occult energy to manipulate audiences, control box office fortunes, or even curse rivals. The sudden downfall of a beloved star, the inexplicable success of a mediocre film, the meteoric rise of an unknown actor, all, some say, are orchestrated in those hidden rooms. As one anonymous industry vet cryptically warned, in Hollywood, there are no coincidences, only rituals. The occult's fingerprints, believers argue, aren't confined to secret chambers. They're etched into the very fabric of Hollywood's output, in movie posters, album covers, and award show performances. To the untrained eye, it's mere artistry. To the initiated, it's a trail of breadcrumbs. Take the all-seeing eye, a symbol of Illuminati control that dominates everything from Grammy stages to superhero logos, or the pentagrams subtly woven into pop stars' choreography, like inverted formations in a viral music video. Even children's films aren't immune. Animated classics are dissected frame by frame for hidden demons, subliminal messages, and numerology. The number 666 lurks in release dates, while blockbusters like Black Panther and The Lion King are analyzed for Masonic imagery. Some insiders whisper that if you really look, every blockbuster hides a secret message, a breadcrumb trail leading back to a clandestine cabal, claims a former studio intern. Consider the infamous 2013 MTV Video Music Awards, where Lady Gaga, clad in a skeletal robe, performed applause amid occult sigils and chanting monks. Or the 2017 film Mother, its biblical allegories laced with Kabbalistic numerology. Skeptics dismiss it as marketing gimmicks, but conspiracy theorists insist it's a game of cat and mouse, a way for the elite to flaunt their power while the masses remain oblivious. If symbols are the language, then Hollywood's exclusive gatherings are the boardrooms where deals with the devil are struck. Tales abound of after-hours parties in sprawling Beverly Hills estates, where champagne flows alongside darker libations. At one such event, guests reportedly donned animal masks and partook in a mock sacrifice of a starlit effigy, symbolizing the death of her innocence and rebirth as a global icon. Then there's the infamous Church of the Starry Wisdom, a rumored offshoot of the Church of Satan, which holds ceremonies in the basements of Sunset Strip nightclubs. Attendees, allegedly a mix of actors, executives, and musicians, engage in rituals to invoke creative genius or curse competitors. One leaked email from a disgruntled assistant described a ritual where participants anointed themselves with ash from burned Oscar ballots, chanting, "As this burns, so shall my enemies." But the most chilling accounts revolve around the Black Pyramid Society, a secretive group said to meet biannually at a remote desert compound. Here, initiates undergo trials blending Masonic rites and psychedelic visions, culminating in an oath sworn over an ancient grimoire. Those who pass gain access to a network of influence. Those who fail vanish into obscurity. It's not about talent, a retired stuntman alleged. It's about who you're willing to become and what you're willing to destroy. What fuels this underworld? Greed, ambition, and the insatiable hunger for immortality. Stories of star curses abound. The tragic ends of Marilyn Monroe, Heath Ledger, and Brittany Murphy fuel speculation that their souls were the cost of fame. Even living stars drop hints. I had to lose myself to find my voice, crooned a Grammy-winning singer in an interview, her wrist tattoo of a pyramid glowing under the studio lights. In an age of viral conspiracies and QAnon, interest in Hollywood's occult ties has exploded. TikTok sleuths dissect Marvel films for Illuminati clues, while Reddit threads debate whether Taylor Swift's Midnight's album is a witch's grimoire. Studios, meanwhile, lean into the mystique. A24's Hereditary and Jordan Peele's Us drip with occult aesthetics, blurring the line between art and admission. But is this all smoke and mirrors? Historians note that Hollywood's occult links aren't new. The 1920s saw Aleister Crowley mingling with silent film stars, while Church of Satan founder Anton LaVey counted Sammy Davis Jr. and Jane Mansfield as acolytes. Even Walt Disney allegedly infused Fantasia with pagan symbolism. The occult is Hollywood's original special effect, argues author and occult scholar Dr. Lila Voss. It sells fantasy, but for some, fantasy becomes reality. Whether fact or folklore, the occult underworld forces us to confront the price of fame. In a town where dreams are manufactured and souls are commodified, the real horror may not be the rituals themselves, but our collective willingness to believe in them. After all, in Hollywood, the most powerful spell is the one cast on us, the eternal, enchanting lie that what we see is all there is. Chapter 11. Inside the secret parties of the stars, Hollywood's wild nights. Beneath the shimmering veneer of red carpets and flashing cameras, Hollywood has always harbored a shadowy underworld, a labyrinth of exclusive mansions, velvet-roped clubs, and whispered invitations where the elite indulge in fantasies far removed from their public personas. From the golden age of cinema to today's A-list playgrounds, secret parties dripping with decadence, danger, and debauchery have thrived. This is the untold story of Hollywood's most exclusive gatherings, where fame, power, and desire collide in the dark. Long before Instagram stories and TMZ, Hollywood's original icons crafted a legacy of hedonism behind closed doors. The 1940s and 50s, an era of strict moral codes on screen, masked a reality of off-screen orgies, clandestine affairs, and underground sex networks. At the heart of this world was Scott Bowers, a charismatic World War II veteran turned fixer for the stars. In his scandalous memoir, Full Service, My Adventures in Hollywood and the Secret Sex Life of the Stars, Bowers claimed to orchestrate liaisons for legends like Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn, arranging orgies in Beverly Hills estates where studio-mandated propriety dissolved into champagne-soaked revelry. Rock Hudson, the heartthrob whose sexuality was meticulously hidden by studios, reportedly found liberation at these parties. Meanwhile, Jack Nicholson's infamous Mulholland Drive home became a 24/7 den of excess, dubbed a non-stop carnival of drugs, starlets, and jazz by biographer Mark Elliott. Character actor Harry Dean Stanton took it further, hosting weekend-long sex marathons that blurred the lines between Friday night and Monday morning. These gatherings weren't just parties, they were rebellions against a world that demanded perfection. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the tradition lives on, but with a Silicon Valley-level obsession with privacy. Enter SNCTM, pronounced Sanctum, the eyes-wide-shut-inspired club that's redefined elite hedonism. Founded in 2013 by Damon Lawner, this members-only empire hosts opulent masquerades where tuxedo-clad men and lingerie-clad women mingle under chandeliers, their identities shielded by ornate masks. The price of entry? Up to $75,000 annually for men, while women are vetted for aesthetic appeal and social status. Sanctum's events, featured in Showtime's Naked Sanctum documentary series, are a sensory overload. Erotic performances, BDSM demonstrations, and themed rooms where anonymity fuels abandon. Phones are banned. NDAs are mandatory. Rumors swirl of A-list attendees like Gwyneth Paltrow and Bill Maher, though the club's spokesperson only smirks. Our guests value discretion as much as pleasure. But Sanctum isn't alone. Across Los Angeles and New York, similar clubs cater to the rich and restless. At one Halloween bash, described by adult star Haley Davies, Oompa Loompa, costume performers sparked an impromptu orgy, with A-listers losing themselves in the chaos. For all their allure, these parties harbor a darker edge. Recent headlines have thrust Sean Diddy Combs into the spotlight. His legendary white parties, once glamorous affairs attended by Jennifer Lopez, Justin Bieber, and Naomi Campbell, now marred by lawsuits alleging sex trafficking, coercion, and freak-offs fueled by drugs. As of February 2025, federal investigations loom, revealing a stark contrast between the glittering surface and the rot beneath. Even Sanctum isn't immune. Founder Damon Lawner was exiled from his own club after leaking Hunter Biden's membership, a stark reminder that NDAs can't always contain human error. Meanwhile, whispers of exploitation persist. Are these parties liberated playgrounds or predatory hunting grounds? What drives celebrities to risk it all? For some, it's the thrill of anonymity in a world where every move is tracked. Imagine being truly unseen, says one Sanctum insider. No cameras, no judgment, just fantasy. For others, it's the power rush of exclusivity. Sanctum's 10-to-1 applicant rejection rate rivals Harvard's. Yet the risks are undeniable. Beyond legal peril, there's the existential threat of exposure. As one Golden Age starlet confessed, you'd wake up wondering if last night's mistake would end your career by noon. Hollywood's secret soirees are more than just gossip fodder. They're a cultural phenomenon, reflecting the eternal clash between societal constraints and human desire. As Diddy's legal battles unfold and Sanctum expands globally, one truth remains. Behind the masks and marble walls, the stars will always seek shadows where they can shed their roles and rewrite the rules. The Golden Age may have invented the game, but modern Hollywood has perfected it, proving that in Tinseltown, the most captivating stories are still the ones we're not meant to see. Chapter 12: Hollywood's Hidden Lifestyle, Drugs, Excess, and the Underbelly of Fame. From rampant drug use to reckless spending habits and the crushing weight of fame, the industry harbors a reality far removed from the glossy perfection shown to the public. Beneath the million-dollar mansions and blockbuster paychecks, many celebrities grapple with addiction, financial ruin, and mental health challenges. This report delves into the underbelly of fame, exposing the truth behind Hollywood's most well-kept secrets. The entertainment industry has a long history of drug use, with celebrities often turning to substances to cope with the relentless pressure of stardom. The industry's fast-paced, high-stress environment fuels this dependency, with performers and executives alike falling victim to addiction. But Hollywood's drug problem is not new. Studios have historically played a role in enabling substance abuse, prioritizing profit over the well-being of their stars. Judy Garland, beloved for her role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, was given amphetamine pep pills by MGM to keep her thin and energetic, only to later struggle with addiction for the rest of her life. The 1960s and 1970s saw an explosion of cocaine use, with music and film stars indulging in the party culture. More recently, the opioid crisis has devastated Hollywood, taking the lives of stars like Heath Ledger, Prince, and Mac Miller. Some celebrities have managed to overcome addiction, but their stories paint a sobering picture. Robert Downey Jr., now one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, spent years in and out of rehab and prison due to cocaine and heroin addiction. Demi Lovato has been open about her near-fatal overdose in 2018. Matthew Perry, known for his role as Chandler Bing on Friends, spent decades battling opioid dependence, detailing his struggles in his memoir Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. Hollywood is synonymous with wealth and luxury, and many celebrities indulge in excessive spending habits that boggle the mind. Multi-million-dollar mansions, exotic car collections, designer wardrobes, and extravagant vacations are the norm. But is all this opulence sustainable? Take Kim Kardashian, whose life is a display of affluence. With luxury handbags worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, multiple properties, and a skincare line priced for the elite, she epitomizes excess. Power couple Jay-Z and Beyoncé own a $200 million Malibu estate, while Johnny Depp reportedly spent $30,000 per month on wine and bought an entire French village. Nicolas Cage, once one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors, infamously blew his fortune on 15 homes, a fleet of exotic cars, and a pet octopus, only to later face bankruptcy. However, not every celebrity succumbs to this culture. Keanu Reeves, despite a net worth of hundreds of millions, lives modestly, donates large sums to charity, and is often spotted taking public transportation. Some stars, like Leonardo DiCaprio and Emma Watson, use their wealth to fund activism rather than excessive lifestyles. But these exceptions are rare in an industry where social media pressures and public expectations push celebrities to maintain an image of luxury, even if it means financial disaster. Many stars go bankrupt due to reckless spending, bad investments, or financial mismanagement. Mike Tyson, once worth $400 million, lost it all due to extravagant spending on mansions, jewelry, and even tigers. MC Hammer, known for his hit You Can't Touch This, spent millions on an entourage of 200 people before filing for bankruptcy. Even Britney Spears, despite her immense success, had her finances controlled under a conservatorship for over a decade, highlighting how easy it is for even the biggest names to lose control. The Hollywood dream often turns into a financial nightmare, proving that fortune is just as fleeting as fame. While fame brings fortune and recognition, it also comes with a heavy cost: loss of privacy, public scrutiny, and mental health struggles. The weight of constantly being in the spotlight has taken a severe toll on many celebrities, leading to anxiety, depression, and, in some cases, tragic endings. Robin Williams, known for his infectious humor, privately battled severe depression before his heartbreaking suicide in 2014. Selena Gomez has spoken openly about her struggles with bipolar disorder and the pressure of growing up in the public eye. Britney Spears' public breakdown in 2007, which led to her controversial conservatorship, was a result of immense media scrutiny and personal struggles. The constant invasion of privacy, online hate, and unrealistic expectations have pushed many stars to their breaking points. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of Hollywood's dark side is the rampant harassment and exploitation within the industry. But harassment isn't limited to women. Men in Hollywood have also faced abuse. Former child stars like Corey Feldman have spoken out about the exploitation of young actors by powerful figures in the industry, a chilling reminder that fame often comes at a devastating cost. The toxic environment of Hollywood has strained personal relationships as well. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's high-profile divorce, the very public collapse of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's marriage, and countless other scandals reveal how fame and constant media attention can tear lives apart. In many cases, the very industry that builds stars also destroys them. Hollywood may be a land of dreams, but its reality is far more complex than what the cameras capture. Behind the dazzling premieres and Instagram-worthy vacations, drug addiction, financial ruin, and mental health crises lurk in the shadows. The pressure to maintain an image of perfection leads many stars down destructive paths, proving that fame is as much a curse as it is a privilege. Chapter 13: The Hidden Architects of Hollywood's Blockbuster Empire. Beneath the shimmering marquees of Hollywood lies a shadowy world of boardroom battles, billion-dollar gambles, and backroom deals. This is not a screenplay. It's the real story of how a handful of modern moguls, corporate collusion, and cutthroat talent agencies pull the strings of Tinseltown. Grab your popcorn. The drama behind the scenes is far more gripping than anything on screen. Hollywood's golden age had its legends. Moguls like Louis B. Mayer and Jack Warner. but today's power players wield influence on a galactic scale. Meet the architects of the 21st century movie empire. When Bob Iger took Disney's helm in 2005, he didn't just steer the ship, he built an armada. His $4 billion acquisition of Marvel in 2009 birthed the Avengers universe, a franchise that's grossed over $29 billion globally. Then came Lucasfilm, resurrecting Star Wars and minting new legends like The Mandalorian. But Iger's boldest move? Swallowing 21st Century Fox for $71.3 billion in 2019, a deal that handed Disney control of Avatar, The Simpsons, and a 60% stake in Hulu. Critics call it monopolistic. Iger calls it strategic storytelling. Either way, Disney's dominion over pop culture is unchallenged. If Iger is an empire builder, David Zaslav is a corporate surgeon. After engineering the $43 billion merger of Warner Media and Discovery in 2022, Zaslav slashed costs with a chainsaw. His most infamous act? Axing the nearly finished Batgirl for a $30 million tax write-off, sparking outrage from fans and filmmakers alike. "We're not here to make movies. We're here to make money," he declared, while gutting HBO Max's animation library and rebranding it as Max. The message? In Zaslav's Hollywood, spreadsheets trump art. While her peers chase superheroes, Donna Langley turned Fast and Furious, a fading street racing series, into a $7 billion juggernaut. Her gamble to release Trolls World Tour digitally during the pandemic earned Universal $100 million in 3 weeks, reshaping Hollywood's playbook overnight. Behind every glittering premiere, there's a labyrinth of financial machinations. Here's where Hollywood's magic turns murky. In 1948, the U.S. government sued Paramount Pictures for monopolizing theaters, a case that reshaped the industry. Today, deregulation has studios like Disney reviving old tactics. When Disney strong-arms theaters into reserving screens for Star Wars or Avatar sequels, smaller films get squeezed out. It's déjà vu, says antitrust scholar Dr. Emily Green. The Paramount decrees are dead, and studios are back to playing God. In Hollywood's golden age, tobacco giants paid stars like Clark Gable to smoke on screen, a practice exposed in 2006 when internal documents revealed studios earned $50 million from Philip Morris. While over-product placement is now regulated, whispers persist of under-the-table deals. Ever wonder why every superhero drinks the same soda? Quips a former studio exec. Follow the money. Want to be a star? Better cozy up to CAA or WME. These agencies don't just negotiate deals, they own the game. CAA's 10% commission on Tom Cruise's $100 million Top Gun payday is just the start. Agencies now produce their own content, blurring lines between representation and studio interests. When WME's Endeavor Content cast client Phoebe Waller-Bridge in Killing Eve, critics cried foul. It's a conflict of interest, argues Writers Guild President Meredith Steam. They're not agents, they're cartels. The Oscars' golden statues and Met Gala gowns are just the tip of the iceberg. The real action happens in windowless offices. In 1980, United Artists butchered Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate, cutting it from 5 hours to 3. The result? A $44 million flop that bankrupted the studio. Decades later, studios still prioritize profits over vision. When Harvey Weinstein slashed all the pretty horses from 4 hours to 2, star Matt Damon blasted the move. They took a masterpiece and turned it into a trailer. The McCarthy-era blacklist ruined careers for political dissent, but modern Hollywood has subtler ways of silencing rebels. If you badmouth a studio head, good luck getting auditions, says an anonymous A-lister. Agencies curate access, favoring compliant clients over troublemakers. When Stranger Things star Grace Van Dyne criticized a producer's misconduct, her roles dried up overnight. "This town rewards silence," she tweeted. Hollywood's true power lies not in auteurs or stars, but in moguls who treat creativity as a commodity. Iger, Zaslav, and Langley didn't just inherit the keys to the kingdom. They rewrote the rules, merging art with arithmetic. Yet for all their influence, the system's fragility is showing. As streaming wars escalate and AI threatens writers' jobs. The next act in Hollywood's saga promises more upheaval. So next time you lose yourself in a Marvel epic or Fast and Furious chase, remember, the real thrillers are playing out in boardrooms, where the stakes aren't just box office glory, but control of the stories that define our world. The cameras are rolling. Who's holding the script? Chapter 14. So who really controls Hollywood? Hollywood isn't just a dream factory. It's a battleground where moguls, spies, tech titans, and shadowy elites vie for control of the world's most influential storytelling machine. Strap in as we peel back the velvet curtain to expose the hidden forces shaping what you watch, think, and believe. 1. The studio moguls, kings of the content kingdom. At first glance, Hollywood's power structure seems obvious. The studio titans. Like we discussed in the last chapter, names like Bob Iger, David Zaslav, and Donna Langley dominate headlines. These CEOs greenlight billion-dollar franchises, crush competition, and wield cultural influence akin to modern-day monarchs. Disney alone owns Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and 20th Century Studios, a content empire so vast it could colonize Mars. But even these moguls answer to higher masters, corporate boards, shareholders, and the ruthless algorithms of Wall Street. Profit margins rule, creativity be damned. The real power? It's not in the spotlight. It's in the boardrooms where mergers are plotted and empires are born. 2. The talent agencies, puppet masters of star power. Behind every star stands a power agent pulling strings. Agencies like CAA and WME don't just book roles. They package entire projects, demanding back-end profits and creative control. Want Tom Cruise in your film? You'll pay his agency's price and maybe surrender a chunk of your soul. But whispers persist of darker deals. In 2023, a bombshell lawsuit revealed agencies colluding to suppress writers' wages. Coincidence? Or proof that Hollywood's real scripts are written in backroom deals? 3. Wall Street's shadow, BlackRock, Vanguard, and the Money Matrix. Follow the money, and you'll find Wall Street's invisible hand. Investment giants like BlackRock and Vanguard control staggering stakes in Hollywood's parent companies. BlackRock, with $10 trillion in assets, is a top shareholder in Comcast, Disney, and Netflix. Their algorithms don't care about art. They demand returns, reshaping films into data-driven products. Could these financial behemoths influence narratives to appease global markets? Imagine a superhero movie scrubbed of politics to please shareholders in Beijing or Riyadh. Art dies. Profit thrives. 4. Silicon Valley's invasion. Netflix, Amazon, and the algorithm overlords. Tech titans have stormed Hollywood's gates. Netflix spends $17 billion annually on content. Amazon's Prime Video flexes its Bezos-backed muscle, and Apple TV Plus hoards Oscars like Dragon Gold. These platforms don't just distribute content. They harvest your data to engineer addictive shows. But here's the twist. Silicon Valley's interests align with the Pentagon and CIA. Amazon's $10 billion Jedi cloud contract with the Pentagon raised eyebrows. Coincidence that Jack Ryan glorifies CIA heroics on Prime Video? 5. The CIA's Hollywood liaison. Lights, camera, propaganda. Speaking of the CIA, yes, they're in the credits. The agency's entertainment liaison office has quietly shaped scripts for decades, from Zero Dark 30 to Argo. They offer consulting in exchange for favorable portrayals. Why? National security. Critics call it soft power propaganda, but the rabbit hole goes deeper. Langley's MK Ultra mind control experiments once infiltrated counterculture films. Today, ex-spies work as producers. The line between entertainment and psyops? Blurrier than you think. 6. Mossad and the Israeli connection. From Tel Aviv to Tinseltown. Hollywood's ties to Israeli intelligence are the stuff of spy thrillers. Take Arnon Milchan, producer of Fight Club and 12 Years a Slave. In 2021, his memoir revealed a double life as a Mossad operative smuggling nuclear triggers. His company, New Regency, finances films while Milchan allegedly rubs elbows with Netanyahu and Schwarzenegger. Then there's NSO Group, the Israeli firm behind Pegasus spyware. Its founders have ties to Hollywood investors. Coincidence, or a backdoor into celebrity phones? 7. Secret societies, Bohemian Grove, Bilderberg, and the Illuminati. Cue the X-Files theme. Rumors of occult puppet masters persist, from the Bohemian Grove, where elites perform owl-themed rituals in redwood forests, to the Bilderberg Group's closed-door summits. While hard evidence is scarce, Hollywood's elite undeniably mingle at exclusive retreats like Sun Valley and Davos, cutting deals far from paparazzi lenses. Even the Church of Scientology, with its celebrity apostles, operates like a secret society, demanding loyalty and silencing dissent. Visionaries like Spielberg, Scorsese, and Nolan shape narratives that move millions, but their power is double-edged. Studios co-opt grassroots movements. Is woke cinema activism, or a smokescreen for corporate greed? Meanwhile, algorithms dictate scripts. Netflix's House of Cards was greenlit because data showed audiences love political dramas, Kevin Spacey, and directors like Fincher. Art by spreadsheet. You'd think viewers hold the power. We stream, we tweet, we cancel. But choices are manipulated. Studios flood markets with sequels because they're safe bets. Netflix's top 10 list isn't organic. It's engineered to keep you hooked. Even outrage is monetized. Scandalous films like Joker or Don't Look Up thrive on controversy, feeding the very system they critique. Hollywood's throne isn't occupied by one ruler, but shared by a cabal of financiers, spies, tech oligarchs, and cultural manipulators. Their agendas collide in your Netflix queue, shaping global culture, politics, and even your subconscious. But here's the twist: you're not powerless. Every ticket bought, every tweet shared fuels this machine or breaks it. The next time you watch a film, ask, who wants me to see this? And why? The truth is out there, and it's streaming now.